The views and opinions expressed on any program are those of the producers and/or the persons appearing on the program and do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of FRC Media, Bristol Community College, or the City of Fall River.
Well, hello. Welcome to Spindle City Straight Talk. I'm Chip.
And I'm CJ.
And it is Friday in the River on the beginning of Memorial Day weekend. So,
Yep. And there's ceremonies going on right now as we speak over at Oak Grove Cemetery. They're raising the flag that flew over the Capitol. And there will be celebrations going all weekend, including the Memorial Day Parade on Memorial Day. So check the City Hall website, the city website, and find out the schedule.
Yeah, and let's all try to remember what Memorial Day is about. It's about the people who made the ultimate sacrifice for their country, and let's not let the politicians looking for optics. I saw this morning, Charlie Baker, they planted 37,000 flags in Boston to represent everybody who was killed from Massachusetts in wars, and that's a lot of people, 37,000, but Baker showed up for the last 300. He probably put in 3 right in front of the camera. So, but this is what politicians do. But let's remember, just pulled up a stat, because this is just World War II. Between 40 and 50 million people died in World War II. 20 million of those were military personnel. So that means there could be there's estimates of up to 40 million civilians. So when everybody is horrified about what's going on in Ukraine, let's remember that this is all war. This is why war is not something to be taken lightly and entered into lightly, because people died. Russia lost the most people because, between the Germans killing them and them killing their own people and civilians, there was an estimate that they lost like 18 million people during World War II. So let's remember the people who, remember all veterans on every day, because it's on their shoulders that that freedom stands. But let's remember them solemnly, and it's more than a cookout. It's more than a parade. It's a remembrance of people who made the ultimate sacrifice for their nation.
I agree. No question about it. No argument from me at all. And I think that this weekend is important that we remember these things, because people tend to forget it. Just so people are aware, we will not be having a show on Monday in observation of the holiday. Hopefully we'll remember to say that at the end of the show. But I got something. Guess what this is?
Is that the space building that they found? Oh, no, it isn't. It's too small. I'm sorry.
Nope, this is the ARPA Commitments.
Oh, yes.
The secret ARPA commitment file.
Wait a minute. Okay.
So, there's $10 million in lost revenue provisions. Here's where that money is going. ARPA 9-1C, Fall River Police Department, Crime Prevention Training and Equipment, Police Cars, $275,000. Fall River Assessors Department, RCC, Patriot Property Software Purchase, $360,000. Fall River Engineering Department, Near Map Software Purchase, $50,203.50. Lost revenue provision balance, $9,314,996.50. Yay! So nice. He's still got $9 million to play with, because that's unrestricted money.
Unrestricted, yeah.
That's unrestricted.
I want to know if those, after they buy all that software, if they're going to all get a pay cut, because all they have to do is push a button.
Yeah.
Because they're going to, once they program that software, all they have to do is push a button in those departments. And the other thing that puzzles me about that is they're talking about lost revenue like in the police department, I don't understand where the lost revenue comes from, because the police department doesn't sell a product, crime didn't stop, and confiscations is where they make,
Where they make their money.
where they make their money.
Yep.
So that's puzzling too. Not that I have any problem with police and public safety getting any money, or actually DCM, or somebody's actually doing work. But just that fact is kind of puzzling when you
Well,
when you read
the lost revenue provision is $10 million. The cities and towns and Jake Auchinclaws fought diligently to get this money unrestricted for the cities and towns throughout the country.
So it's a handout. It's not
Right.
It's not relief for COVID.
Exactly.
It's a handout
It's a
to the
handout.
blue states that can't keep their budgets in line.
Exactly.
So
That's exactly what
let's
it is.
call. They fought to make sure that their inability to control spending was covered up
Right.
by the money that Brandon printed.
Now,
so let's make that clear.
Now here we go on to ARPA money, which is restricted on what they can use it for. ARPA 2, City of Fall River rehire provision.
Oh, yeah.
$2,909,785.
So we rehire those people, we pay them this year with opera money, then we have them for the rest of their careers and pay all their salaries and benefits.
Or we lay them all off.
Or we lay them all off, which should be like safer.
Right.
You know, you either keep them on a payroll, which they will be, but we don't even get them, we get them for free for 1 year, not 5 years
Right.
incrementally, so.
Right. Fall River Police Department, Operation Compass, $579,686. CD Recreation, Fall River Holiday Parade, $75,000. I don't know if the holiday parade meets the requirements.
$75,000
Yep.
for a parade?
Yep. Community Utilities, which is the water department, water main replacement, contract one, $8,350,000. Now, didn't the mayor say he was going to give $13,000 for $13 million for that?
Yeah, and not
that's what
only
they
that,
needed.
is our sewer and water fee going to go down? Is our rate going to go down? Because
I don't know.
Now we're being subsidized for that bill that they're always complaining. They got to do this, they got to do that. That's one thing that we shouldn't be paying out of our pocket
Right.
since we got federal money. But again, that's too hard to figure that out.
Jobs for Fall River, i.e. Bristol County Economic Development Consultants, i.e. Ken Fiola. Small Business Grant Assistance Program, $3,260,000. I think $260,000 is Kenny Fiola's commission or money for handling this. But they've only given out $151,000, I believe it is. They haven't even given out anywhere near $1 million. So what happens to the money if they don't give it all out?
They keep it.
That's what I'm thinking too.
It'll be with the space building.
Right,
They'll find
exactly.
it in 6 years.
Right. Fall River EMS MedCat ambulance purchase, $298,000. Fall River IT department, computers and printers for police cruisers. Didn't we just talk about police cruisers earlier?
Yeah. And the ambulance, isn't EMS an enterprise fund?
Yes,
Aren't
it
they
is.
supposed to be buying their equipment with the money they make?
Right.
And that could maybe help somebody's rent or something? I don't know. But
Now, Fall River Police Department, crime prevention training and equipment. Now, wait a minute. Under the lost revenue provision, they had crime prevention training and equipment, police cars. Down here, they got crime prevention training and equipment. No equipment's listed.
can anybody say cut and paste?
I think so.
I don't know.
That's $287,000 for a grand total for the ambulance, the computer printers for the police cars, and the crime prevention training, $1,361,000 for $686. Fall River Planning Department, the Quikasham Rail Trail, Phase 4 project, which takes it out to the Westport line, $4 million. Fall River Planning Department, Jerry Lawton Plaza Rehabilitation Project, $300,000. That's to benefit the building, the space on the side of the old Cherry Webb building, and the space between the Bobby Caron building, the First Properties building. So they used to have tables there, but they didn't want the bums to be there, so they took the tables out. So now they're going to rehab it and make it beautiful so that both property owners.
What are you talking about, bums?
Yeah.
We got all this market ride housing. Now, those tables should have been infested with yupmoids.
I know, really.
All sipping English breakfast tea and having some crumpets.
Earl Grey.
Earl Grey. Well, that's Captain Picard's
That's right.
favorite tea. We know that. I know you're a Trekkie.
Yeah, Fall River Park Department, Kennedy Park, $60,000. Fall River Park Department, Abbott, North Lafayette Skateboard Parks, $44,000. Didn't he just make a entire review of all the skateboard parks in the city?
Well, that's why he did it. He had to see how much money he was going to give
Exactly.
Ah.
Now here's one for you from the Fall River Water Department. I didn't know we were in the business of training people to row. Fall River Water Department, Watapa Rowing Center, $200,000.
Well, I wonder who owns that one.
Yep. Boys and Girls Club, Social and Emotional Support Programs, $65,000. City Recreation, Community Sailing Program, Equipment, $75,155. CANS, that's the Creative Arts Network.
Oh, I'm glad
Hydrangea planting.
I'm glad you clarified that, because we'll have a lot of viewers that thought we were buying cans.
Yeah, no. That's the Creative Arts Network. Hydrangea planting, $25,000. One stage production, tuition assistance, $30,000. And River to Recovery, COVID response program, $140,000. For a grand total of $30,919,861.
Wow.
$661.
And we could blow that without even blinking, right?
Right.
Thank you very much for the bailout, yeah, Brandon.
But what's missing?
Anything that's really important.
Well, number one, I don't know how tuition assistance is going to qualify.
Yeah.
I don't know how hydrangea planting is going to qualify. So what I've done, and now, Mr. Mayor, you'll know who it was. I filed a complaint with the Office of the Attorney General and the U.S. Department of Treasury for misappropriation of ARPA funds by the city of Fall River, and I've requested a full forensic audit on their books.
Nice. Very good. Look, listen, you know as well as I do, this is the way it operates. We're giving this for COVID relief. They appropriate billions of dollars. Then they throw it all to the blue states who can't stop spending. They're bankrupt all the time. They spend every dime. And then they say, oh, wait a minute, we're going to begin to start bending restrictions, removing. What they'll do is they'll all run back and lobby to have the restrictions pulled out. Well, you know, this is necessary and we have to do this and blah, 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 blah. And they'll get what they want as long as they control Congress and as long as they control the legislature.
Well, they better get it done this year.
They better get it done before the midterms.
That's
because
it.
I'll tell you what, but as you said, look, and the other thing that really irritates me about this whole thing is that they have these meetings, input, the thing's already, that was already in the works. We knew where it was going.
Right.
We knew it was already earmarked. And then the mayor has the audacity to not even allow the city council to even weigh in. Now, he is it's like North Korea. He's, he is the grand poobah. Even though they are supposedly the Ways and Means, and shame on the city council for not taking them to court and saying, we are the Ways and Means, we are the legislative body. That's on, it's on him and it's on them.
And actually, to put it bluntly, that's on Cliff Ponte.
Yeah.
Because he didn't want to add any more fees to the city.
Well, look at the fees we're paying, and everybody in the country subsidizing this. They're billions and billions of dollars. People can't pay for gas. They can't buy chicken anymore. Somebody was telling me they went somewhere and they said a slice of some kind of thick bacon, $9 a slice. It was like, what are you, nuts? But that's what we have here. But again, look what we have. Government incompetence being rewarded with bailouts, and it's all they ever do. It's a constant bailout.
Right.
Years ago, we had revenue sharing. Now we got this, and now they're using ARPA. But guess who uses most of that money improperly? California, New York, Massachusetts, Connecticut, Rhode Island. That's because the blue state, they can't stop spending. And when they spend, they don't even care. We hear about accountability. We hear about oversight. Oh, new job, accountability. Oh, where's the accountability? We talked about the space building they found.
Yep.
Well, we got a building. Well, who's getting a $30,000 rent a year that we've been paying.
I wanna know that, too.
What person that's connected is making 30 grand when they bought a building? And I had somebody say, nobody knew. I said, well, I knew. We knew.
Mm-hmm.
We had pictures of the space building that was shored up, remember, on
Yep.
this show?
Yep.
I had about 9 pictures
Yep.
on my phone. We showed them on a show years ago.
Yeah.
Because when I said it, I said, I can't remember, but it was years ago. This building was falling apart, and they started talking about buying space buildings. So apparently, they bought a space building and forgot they bought. How do you not know you have a building? Yet, like, you know, this morning I went out to the backyard to take the dog out. I tripped over a building in my backyard. I said, well, geez, I bought that building like 5 years ago.
I hit one leaving my driveway.
I mean, listen, talk about no accountability.
But you should be familiar with this
Of course I am.
because they do this with money.
Of course, they do it with, well, that's the point. They do it with everything. You know, buildings they lose lawsuits that they guarantee they're going to win, like Dominion. I still remember that one.
Oh, yeah?
They lose windows. They don't know they're putting windows in their own offices. I mean, listen, this is a giant vacuum cleaner sucking up your tax dollar. And until you put people in who are going to pay attention to how they spend your money and saying no, it's going to continue.
Well,
So,
guess after reading all of this, what's the one thing missing? There's one thing missing. One thing missing. Didn't the mayor promise that he was going to give tax relief?
oh,
on
wait
the
a minute.
debt
Yeah, but that's
exclusion?
not. Yeah, when you said one thing, I thought you were talking about yeah, but I mean promises.
Yeah.
He also said he was going to give it not go to 2.5
Right.
in the election, and
Right.
he did.
Right.
So
Well, here's the thing. There is no provision in ARPA for the use of the reduction in taxes or the payment of previous contracts. The debt exclusion pays the previous contract, and the debt exclusion reduces taxes. Therefore, it's not eligible. So once again, Mr. Mayor, you lied. You lied, or you misrepresented, or whatever euphemism you want to use.
Yeah,
But there's no provision in here for the debt exclusion because there can't be.
But what he didn't do was stop spending.
That's right.
Because now he's got more to spend because he's going to plug all those holes, use that money, if he even had it. Mm-hmm. And then guess what? When the opera money runs out, he's going to be gone and we're going to be footing the bill.
That's right.
All those salaries for all those hires.
That's right.
We're going to be eating them forever. We're
That's
going to
right.
be eating them for their career.
And that looks like it's almost $3 million a year.
Now.
Yeah. It's
Now, wait till they get all the
$2,999,000.
pay. Remember, they're just coming back.
That's right.
Give them 6 months so they can all get their pay raises.
That's right. And
By the time the opera money runs out, that $3 million will be $6 million.
Yep. It's definitely going to be a lot of money, that's for sure.
You gotta love
And
it.
the city got county ARPA money.
Yeah.
But the county was smart. The county said, we're going to give you this money, but it requires a majority vote of the city council to spend it. And I've already seen the list on what they want to spend it on.
Oh boy.
They want to buy 4 street sweepers. We can't handle 2.
That's why we needed a building.
That's exactly what they said.
That's why we needed
the building to
Because
store
we
the
can't-
street sweepers.
Because there's no place to store them. And then all of a sudden, epiphany. Somebody's head in City Hall exploded. Oh, wait a minute. We've been paying rent to park our vehicles now for I don't know how many years. We'll have to get that number to somebody who is remaining nameless at this point, but we'll find out. We got a space building. Oh, you do? Oh, yeah, we bought it like, I don't know, a long time ago.
6 years ago.
I know. And then they found out 6
That's
years
right.
ago. We knew that because when that person who called me said they didn't even remember, nobody knew about it. I
Right.
said, what do you mean nobody knew about it? They bought it. But secondly, we knew about it. We did a show on it.
That's right.
We did a show on it. We did a show on a space building that was falling apart. We had the pictures of the wall like this being held up.
Held up with sticks, remember?
Sticks, yeah. It was like, really? Nobody remembers? Because, you know why? It's not their money. I can't go out and buy buildings and then forget them because I invested money in them.
I was speaking to a city councilor about this, and the city councilor said, it wouldn't surprise me if the bill of lading was still attached to the side of the building.
And I don't even know if that building's even serviceable now. Who knows where they stored it?
Exactly.
Remember, those are metal buildings.
They are, exactly.
And even though they have some rust resistance, if they're stored in the wrong location, who knows the serviceability?
That's right.
But I mean, again, they don't care. It's not their money. It's your money. And when they're done, they run. Hey, I like that one.
When they're done, they run. Yeah.
When they're done, they run.
Another good one.
They run. You look at them all. Most of these people bail.
That's it.
I remember when Ed Lambert lived in Fall River, when he was a state rep for Fall River, when he was the mayor of Fall. Didn't take him long after that. Once he maneuvered his way into that big paying job, he's gone. He's in the suburbs. He's in the burbs. And I can guarantee you that our mayor will not be living in Fall River after he leaves office. He wasn't living it before he got in office.
That's right.
And he bailed, and left the people who lived here their entire lives, and he headed for greener pastures. But remember, the grass is always greener over the cesspool.
That's right, exactly. Hey, we're getting a new 16-story building.
With no parking place.
With no parking.
And no...
346 units, no parking.
No parking. So that's 2 cars per.
Right.
So the quick math, it's like...
694 spaces is needed.
And it's on Weaver Street.
Weaver Street.
You realize how bad the parking is down that end of the north end? There's tons of 3-deckers on all those side streets. They're going to put almost 700 cars. Really? Are you people serious?
Guess where they want to put this building? Across the street from Star,
Yeah.
who also had a waiver on parking requirements.
Yeah.
So now you're going to have over 700 parking spaces or more that are going to be needed, and there's no place to put them on Weaver Street. If you know Weaver Street at all, which you do, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's a commercial mill district, number one. It's one street going straight down and then turns off into the mill sections.
Into the mill area.
Right. And there's no place to park on that
Well, you
street.
look at the surrounding streets.
Right.
They're packed. 3-deckers all over the place on those streets.
Look at Essex Street where St. Michael's Church is. I mean, it's cars all the way down.
Exactly.
Any time of day.
I mean, that's a very densely populated area down there. And listen, that's absurd. They say 2 cars, but it's going to be more than 2. Listen.
Of course.
I live on a street where it's mixed. It's they got single families, 2 families, 3 families. I have a neighbor that has 10 cars.
I'm glad he can afford the insurance.
10 cars. He's got 4 kids still living with him, little millennials. Each one of them has a car. Him and his wife have a car. That's 6. And they both have work cars. He has a company car that he brings home, and his wife has a company car that she brings home. So now we're up
To 8.
to 8. It's a 2-family. Downstairs, there's a couple. They both have their own cars. 10 vehicles.
For one building.
For one building.
Right.
10 vehicles. So what happens when these units have people coming in with their kids? There's virtually no child of driving age that doesn't have a car today.
That's right.
So, I mean, this is just ludicrous. But remember, big money development, big money developer, and then you have an issue with one of the people named in that isn't even on the list.
Well, yes. It's Abrams and Farnham, I believe it was. They're a New Hampshire-based LLC. They are not registered in Massachusetts as a foreign corporation. But what they did was, because I spoke with planning about this issue, they had the local property owner file for the variances because he's filing for a variance on parking. He's filing for a waiver of setbacks on front, side, and rear of the building. So, I mean, basically, you're talking about
You're going to have a building.
Right up
that's
to the-
it. Right up to the
right up to the
curb,
line,
basically.
right up to the
You're
line.
going to have a sidewalk, and that's it.
Exactly. And that's coming before the Zoning Board of Appeals on June 16th. Please keep that date in your calendar. Because if you want to stop this, you can go down to Government Center on June 16th for the Zoning Board of Appeals hearing and speak about it. The person that is filed for the waivers is Domingo Medeiros, who owns the Pine Trust Company that's currently on that land. I'm wondering if he has to get the variances to sell the property, because that's a good possibility.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't get the variance, he's out of luck. Now, this is the same man who's been fighting Star from opening up their inpatient units, because he's the only abutter to the property, therefore he's the only one who has standing. So the city is in a conundrum, because if he withdraws his petition to stop Star, the city doesn't have a leg to stand on. So this is a game of politics.
Oh.
100%.
When isn't it a game?
True. But this is truly a game of politics.
As CJ said, put that in your calendar, the 16th, and people from the north end should be down there, and people from all over the city, frankly, should be down there.
Because if it happens there, it's going to happen to somebody else.
Exactly. It's going to happen another place. They're going to start throwing these things up. But I got to just segue a little bit. We know that about the tragedy, and there's all kinds of controversy now about how much they took to get into the building. And
Right.
But it brought up something. Remember, we've been looking at the school department. Everything in Fall River is behind a curtain.
Right.
The Coogan curtain, we can call that. The Coogan curtain of silence. We don't have any information about anything. But remember, we had that assault, we had the attempted, potential attempted suicide, we had videos of fights in there, we've had videos of tampons stuck to the walls, broken toilets and things like this that are sent to us. But we've had an issue with violence in our schools for a little while now, and we were told, at least I was told, and I think you were, by a school committee man, that they were going to address this issue. But now looking at this, I'm wondering, because even during the debt override, we talked about, are the entrances going to be secured?
Right.
Are the windows going to be, because we were looking at this years ago.
Right.
Because, this is not the first time. And now we're having a situation where they had a door open.
Yep.
I would like to know, as a citizen, but also someone who has a grandchild in the public school system, if there's an standard operating procedure that they have adopted about schools. Do we have an SOP that has teachers check every door once school is in session? Are they periodically checked? Do we have a guideline? Do they review that guideline on a regular basis? I just don't. I think that it's time to pull back that curtain of silence and let the parents and people of Fall River know that Fall River is addressing this issue preemptively again. We want to know what our plan is. Apparently, that school had a plan and it wasn't executed.
Right.
So I'd like to know what the hell they're doing, because we have children in there who could be at risk, and we have violence in there now, and we haven't heard a damn thing again. Like Malone, like everything else that happens in this city, nobody knows anything. We're like, everybody in this city is like, Hogan's Heroes. I know nothing.
I know nothing. Colonel Hogan, I know nothing. Nothing.
Schultz.
That Mr. Schultz, that's it. Oh, gosh. Unbelievable. Well, remember, we will not be on the air on Monday. It is Memorial Day. Please get out. Don't just go out and have your barbecues, but, remember those that have died giving their lives for this country and for you, because it's important. Thank you all for watching, and remember, stay safe, stay angry, and hold your politicians accountable. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on Wednesday.
See you on Wednesday.